Hello and welcome to Cozy Creeps, where we bundle up and pretend to be sitting by a cozy fire and listening to spooky tales. I'm Reagan,
River.
and we will be your host for this chilling story. So we are in a different spot than we were last week because we discovered maybe recording in the office room directly across from our daughter's room wasn't the smartest plan. So we are recording from bed, which is as cozy as we can get, honestly. So that's gonna be interesting. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully not too terrible sound-wise and everything. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's still kind of an empty room, so the acoustics might be a little, hopefully not echoey, but sound off in the comments.
Yeah, we still need to get like rugs throughout the whole house. Like the whole house is tile, so it's real echoey in here, which our daughter has the lungs of a banshee. Just imagine that. Just imagine how that goes for us.
It echoes through the vents.
It's so bad.
I hear her yelling from coming from our restroom, and it's impressive, honestly.
But she's like in her room. It's the girl's loud as is. This does not help. We need rugs. We'll get there one day, but today's not that day, obviously. But yeah, so we're gonna record from our bedroom. We're gonna hope this goes well. And we are back on our spooky business. We've got a haunting today. And remind me who it was because it was a friend of yours who recommended this.
Diego.
Diego, that's what I thought his
Go,
name
Diego,
was.
go.
That's what I thought the name was, but I couldn't remember. I just knew it started with a D and I didn't want to say the wrong name. So, yes. So, Diego is a friend of Rivers and he messaged in on Instagram and recommended that we do Galveston, which if you live in like especially South Texas, you know Galveston, Texas is haunted AF. Like there's so many just individual locations. So I'm not going to do the whole island obviously because there's a lot to it. But I'm gonna do just one specific location. I'm gonna do the Galvez Hotel.
Why is it called the Galvez
We'll get
Hotel?
there. We'll get there. Don't worry. It's not because of Galveston, oddly enough. That's
Really?
yeah, you'll get there.
Oh,
You're gonna
okay.
you might laugh at why. It's kind of stupid. But yeah,
Just my
so
cup of tea.
so that's what we're gonna be talking about. So for those who aren't in Texas and didn't learn about Galveston as part of your history course, I'm just gonna give a brief little tidbit as to why Galveston is so haunted. One, during the 1800s to like early 1900s, it was a very prominent port for pirates. Like I believe his name was Jean Lafitte, actually like set up station here after he was run out of Louisiana. So that's part one.
You didn't go very far.
He didn't, but you know what? I mean, it was the 1800s. That's pretty far, actually.
I guess.
Yeah. It's also Galveston was also like a major port back then. Like
And it's still a major
huge.
port, isn't it?
Like yes, but
I don't know. I'm not a
for that time period, huge. Huge port. So there's
huge.
part of that, but then also Galveston had what we refer to as the storm of 1900, which was this massive hurricane that destroyed the majority of the island and killed thousands of people. Like almost the entire island's population was wiped out from this hurricane. Now I don't remember what category they said this hurricane would have been ranked at today because obviously then they didn't have that system in place. But yeah, like this storm was huge. It killed thousands of people. There are probably just mass graves galore all across Galveston Island. From from all the dead bodies from that. I think at one point they actually tried to throw the bodies out to sea and then they kept washing back up. Like it was a mess. Like it was a really, really devastating storm. So that's why Galveston is haunted AF is just what's up.
Due to a quick Google search,
Thanks,
they
babe.
theorize it would be a category 4.
Which it only goes up to five, so
And Harvey was, what, 3?
Harvey was a three, I think.
But
Yeah.
Harvey was more of a, obviously
Harvey
rainfall and water.
Harvey was a bit different, yeah, because they based the categories off of wind speed, but some hurricanes are more devastating even though they're a lower category because of the rainfall. So, yeah. there's your fun facts about hurricanes if you don't live in a hurricane area. Ooh. But yeah, so that's part of why Galveston is just haunted AF, is because just so much death happened there. And I'm sure there's probably like mass graves and a bunch of things that we don't fully know about or know where they are. There's a certain chain superstore that I don't want to say the name of because I don't want to potentially get into legal trouble with it, but Malwart, that's the best I could come up with, sorry, is supposedly on the island, super haunted. Fun fact. Just a fun fact
The
there.
Mart of Walls.
Yeah, apparently it's super haunted there. But with that, with kind of more of a background understanding about why places in Galveston are just so haunted, let's get into the Galvez Hotel specifically. So, the Galvez Hotel was built in 1911 in an attempt to rebuild Galveston and boost the tourism after the 1900 storm that, like I said, destroyed the majority of the island. And they had actually started planning for the hotel back in like 1898, but they were being very chill, very lackadaisical with it, just weren't really like putting much effort into it until after the storm. And they were like, oh, we need to get the island back on its feet and like get some revenue coming in here and all of that. So that's when they really started going for it.
Let her.
Oh my God. So one of our cats has decided she wants to join recording for the YouTube peeps. Here's Artemis. If you hear someone nudge my microphone for the peeps just listening on audio, I'm sorry.
It's cats. You
Get
know.
your tail off my face. Get your butt out of my face.
PG-13. I'm not trying to make it R.
She's trying to stick her booty hole up for everyone to see.
Age-gated.
Anyway, so the hotel is known as the Queen of the Gulf because it is a massive, very fancy hotel right there on the seawall.
Is it still there?
Yeah, it's still there. It's still running.
Cool. I'm gonna look it up.
So, I'm gonna hide part of this. So, this hotel cost $1 million to build in 1911. Do you want to take a stab at how much that is in today's money?
Bajillion.
Don't Google it. Okay, less than that. Chill out. No.
I'm gonna say an average number like 45 million.
Okay, less than that actually. 34,700,000. I'm so sorry. She just knocked over my mic to anyone who had to hear that. I'm so sorry. Move, cat. You're done. You're done. $34,760,000 in today's money. Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Speaking of what it was named after, the hotel was named after Bernardo de Galvez, who was a Revolutionary War hero from Spain. But he never visited Galveston Island. Like, for all we know, he didn't even know it existed.
It sounds like they're like Galveston, Galvez.
Yeah,
They sound similar.
I don't know why they chose to name it after him, but they did. So,
That's pretty
weird
cool.
but heard.
I wonder if it'll pick up.
Yeah, we'll post pictures of it too on all our socials, but it is a really pretty looking hotel.
That's swanky. Like,
Oh, it's super
I
swanky.
don't go to Galveston because the seawater is just booty cheeks.
It smells gross, honestly.
I love that Gulf, but like that actually looks pretty nice.
Yeah. Anyway, so the room has 226 guest rooms, and from what I read, over 25,000 square feet of event space and a 10,000 square foot spa area. She's fancy.
Wow.
She's fancy, fancy.
I've been to so many hotels and resorts, and I've never done like the
Spas, I want
spas or
to.
any of the amenities.
Oh, I want to so bad one day.
Because all of it's like not even, for the most part, not included in your stay. So it's
Nope.
like, $200 for an hour freaking massage or something. I'm like, nah,
No, it's
I'm
not
good. I'll
that
just
bad.
go.
They do packages usually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so fun fact about the hotel, it originally actually had 275 rooms, but was reduced down to 226 to make room for the addition of ensuite bathrooms. So like when it was originally built, ensuite bathrooms weren't a normalized things in hotels.
Bro, that's crazy.
Yeah,
So
so
it's just like a college dorm with their freaking public bathrooms.
I didn't see exactly how the bathroom situation was back then, but
How do you
yeah,
stuff
they
them?
it was basically like they would take a room in between two rooms and split it and turn it into the bathroom, apparently, is what they did.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like what they do anyway.
Yeah, so that's That's a little fun fact. It originally had more rooms, but then they had to turn them into bathrooms because that was becoming an amenity that hotels, had to offer. Like, if you didn't offer that, why would we stay there,
Yeah. It's like housing too. Like,
Hmm.
it's a shame that in the luxury expensive houses that every room gets its own bathroom. Like, they need to be standard. Like, extremely cold take. But like of course the master suite has a bathroom, but like why you gotta make two or three other rooms share one other bathroom? It's like, come on, I'm trying to walk to the bathroom. I don't need to put on a robe, you know? Come
We
on.
we have a lot of feelings about how many bathrooms per bedroom a house should have.
It's a 1-to-1 ratio and plus maybe a half bath
Maybe like
for
one or two
for
half
for
baths for
gatherings.
guests and gatherings. Yeah. You always want to make sure you have enough bathrooms to accommodate the people in your home. If everyone has to poop at the same time, you should all be able to poop at the same time. There, said it. Anyway, we are spiraling off topic today. We are stressed. We are tired. New jobs, moving, toddler transitioning from a crib to a toddler bed. Hot mess express over here. So if we just start spiraling and ranting,
Life
sorry,
is
not
life.
sorry. Sorry, not sorry in advance. Anyway,
But we're happy to be here talking with y'all.
yeah. Anyway, back on topic. So this hotel has been visited by a lot of famous people, a lot of presidents. So first off, we have FDR, who used it as a temporary White House in 1937 while he was fishing in the Gulf. Like, he was like, I'm on vacation. I'm not going back to the White House to deal with my stuff, so I'm just gonna set a base here. Which it's like, good on you, man. Good on you. We also have President Eisenhower, President Lyndon B. Johnson, President Nixon, and then for just regular famous people,
I was hoping you were going to say president. I'm reading the script. I'm not going to say it. Go for it.
President Frank. He was hoping I was going to say President Frank Sinatra, who's the next
Honestly,
one.
I'll take them.
I'll take him. Let's go. But we also had Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and Howard Hughes all stay here as well. So that's just a few of the famous people. There were several others listed, but that list was getting too long, and I was like, none of y'all really did anything cool here except FDR. So like, I'm just gonna name a few. Um, but also, fun fact, the hotel was actually used as barracks for soldiers during World War II. Like, starting somewhere in the early 1940s, they barred it to where civilians couldn't rent rooms there anymore, and they just used it as barracks for soldiers.
Hmm.
Now, and they kept that going until the early 1950s. That's when it finally reopened to the public.
I know it was trying time back in World War II, but that sounds like I don't know, sounds like a breach of the Constitution somehow. But you know
It's a
what?
hotel. No, it's not. They
Well,
did that with a lot of places like that, and I'm sure they were paid by the government.
like I said,
And also it's the war effort, it's World War II, like
that's what I
you know
said.
that you
Extenuating
know that you
circumstances.
know that nationalism was hyped up and they were like, we are glad to do this. You know that was in there.
Oh no, for sure. But like hindsight sort of thing. It's like privately owned, like it's just eminent domain, or you know,
I think it was done legally probably. Also during
we'll see.
also like the World Wars, a lot of stuff happened, A lot of stuff went sliding by a little bit to get things done.
I'm sure.
We
Anyways,
had to stop the Nazis. If only people got that message now.
extremely cold take.
That's a hot take. Don't even. No, it's a cold take. It's a cold take, right?
Yeah,
When you say that, it's because it's like everyone would agree with it.
exactly.
I'm so
There you
tired, y'all.
go.
Forgive me. Anyway, yeah, cold take. Cold take. Better be a cold take.
What's this episode about?
Anyway, it's about a hotel. And ghosties. Anyway, so the hotel was sold several times that I saw from like the 1960s to 1980s. Like, I didn't really feel like getting too in depth in that because it wasn't anything too exciting, really. But then it was bought in 1995 by a local named George P. Mitchell, and he actually ended up restoring the hotel back to like its original 1911 appearance. So apparently, like, I think one of the
Like the
people,
pavilion? George P. Mitchell? Like the Woodlands Pavilion?
I actually don't know. I didn't look. He's a Galveston local.
I think it's the George P. Mitchell.
Oh, that's hilarious, though.
Yeah, like the Woodlands. If you're
Yeah.
local to Houston, like there's big George P. Mitchell. I think it's the pavilion's named after him, and
Hmm.
then Howard Hughes is like a big name up in the Woodlands as
That's
well.
because he was a really rich man.
Yeah.
I forget what Howard
Sorry.
Hughes did exactly, but yeah,
He's like Tony Stark. I think Tony Stark.
he's just a rich man.
That's Howard
He's
Hughes.
just a rich white man. Anyway, but yeah, so he brought it back kind of to that 1911 original appearance and structure. Um, that was like the biggest note of like a buyer that I got from it. So with that, we're gonna move on to the ghosts now. So first, we're gonna talk about a nun. Are you Googling?
Yes.
Okay,
I'm listening.
okay, sure you are. Anyway, so first we're going to talk about Sister Catherine, who was a nun who belonged to the Sisters of Charity, the group that ran the St. Mary's Orphan Asylum on the island before the 1900 storm.
Uh-oh.
You might know what this story is about to lead to. Do you?
Death and destruction.
I mean, no, do you know the specific story about the nuns and the orphans?
No.
Oh, you're about to get
Maybe
traumatized. I'm so sorry.
maybe in my brain somewhere.
Oh, this story stuck with me from the time I heard it. Sorry, everyone in advance. Trigger warning, child death. Shocker. It was the 1900 storm. I already told you thousands of people died. Anyway, so during the 1900 storm, the nuns, in an attempt to save the children, cut cloth and tied it at their waist and then to the children. The hope was that the nuns, being bigger, would like be able to withstand the winds and the water and everything and be able to keep the kids afloat. It didn't work that way. It may have actually caused more of them to die. 10 nuns and 90 children total died.
Wait, they had 9 kids apiece?
Mm-hmm.
Bruh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what?
And it's like,
Their heart was in the right
like,
place.
I get the logic. They were trying to keep them all together and, like, keep everyone together, keep the kids from being swept away from the storm surge and the flood and everything. But it's speculated it might have caused more harm than good, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so very, very unfortunate though. Hearts were in the right place. I know they were trying and like they didn't know what to do with that, but yeah.
Oof.
Anyway, so the
Moving
children's
on.
were later found the bodies were all later found still attached to each other, still tied to each other, on the beach in front of where the Galvez Hotel would be built, or I guess where it was possibly already being built. As I said earlier, like they had started this idea back in 1898. So I don't know if the building was already like starting to be built and they were just being really slow with it, or if it didn't really start being built until after the storm. I'm not 100% sure. But their bodies were found in front of the Galvez Hotel, and then the bodies were buried where they were found, leading some to believe that the hotel is built above their mass grave. Mm-hmm. So Sister Catherine was one of these nuns that was, tied to the children and passed away. And she's usually seen on the lawn of the hotel because, like I said, the hotel is right there at the beachfront. So after this storm, Galveston built what's called the seawall. They literally built up the island and made a massive wall that then goes down to the beach. So that way storm surge and all of that wouldn't hit the island as hard again. It was their goal with it.
Yeah, it's what like it's gotta be like 20 feet tall.
It's really tall. But so the hotel is built like right there along the seawall. So it's said that she is seen on the lawn of the hotel looking out into the Gulf with like a look of distress. And as some people think it's as if she's looking for the children or perhaps keeping an eye out for another storm. So girls on constant monitoring.
I mean, she probably knows where the children are, but
Maybe, who knows? So another spirit that's usually seen here is that of a small girl. She is usually seen around the hotel lobby, the gift shop, and the staircase playing with her ball, and she's reported to be dressed in 19th century clothing. Guests have also reported hearing children running through the halls and playing the grand piano in the lobby, but there's never any children present when they go to look. So there was also a moment with the little girl specifically where the hotel was under construction, probably for renovations, and the workers would see this little girl playing near the construction site and would keep bringing it up to the front desk like, hey, y'all need to keep this little girl away. And they'd be like, there's no little girl here that matches that description. Is the little ghost girl coming to play?
okay, well, okay, I hear that, and like these construction workers didn't go and get the girl to move her away.
I I don't know if maybe she just, vanished when they looked away. That's usually a common thing. But also, it's a very common thing in haunted places when they start, like, if they start renovating or construct any sort of construction on the building, it tends to ramp up activity because the ghosts are like, what are you doing in my space? Get out.
Shaking the cobwebs
They,
off.
they don't like it. They don't like construction.
I mean, that little girl
Um,
did apparently.
she was like, what y'all doing over here? Bouncing a wall, you know? So no one knows for sure where the little girl and the other children came from. It's kind of believed that they may have been the orphans who died in the storm. But again, there's
Could have been
no,
anyone from the storm.
it could be anyone from that storm, honestly.
Oh,
All of them, really. Um, Now the last ghost that I want to talk about, she's the most like infamous ghost of the hotel. They call her the Lovelorn Lady.
what does Lauren mean?
I don't know. I didn't look it up. We're not looking it up. We're done looking up things today. We're done.
But the people want to know.
I think they'll figure it out. They're fine. I believe in you. You're smart cookies.
Google's on your side.
Google is free and in your phone, kiddaroonies. Anyway, so the Lovelorn Lady. In the mid 1950s, a young bride-to-be named Audra would come and stay at the hotel while her fiance, who was a mariner and who often sailed out in and out of the port of Galveston, was away at sea. Um, so she would come and stay in room 501, which is closest to the elevator and to a ladder leading up to the roof of the hotel. And obviously, in the 50s, safety precautions weren't as big of a thing, so you could easily get to that ladder, probably.
And
That's gonna
it's
lead somewhere.
seemingly every Japanese school
I know,
and
right?
every anime I've seen.
I know,
The kids are
right?
just loitering on the roof.
It's just a spot to hang out, man. Anyway, so Audra would climb the ladder to watch the sea for her fiance's ship to return. Now, one day there was a really bad storm, and Audra was informed that her fiance's ship had capsized and that all hands were lost, meaning everyone on the ship died. So Audra, overcome with grief and despair, went to the west turret on the roof of the hotel and hung herself.
Oh, that should just. I
No,
thought she
she hung
yeeted
herself.
herself.
No, she hung herself.
Oh, okay.
What's even more unfortunate is Audra's fiance actually survived and arrived in Galveston a few days
I
later,
knew it.
only to find out that she'd just been interred.
I knew it.
Yeah, he lived. That's a that's another common trope, especially in like haunted hotels, is there's always a jilted bride or a jilted lover or a lady in white like who was jilted or found out that her lover
Jilted.
died, like scorned,
Oh,
scorned,
jilted.
jilted.
Is that another one of those Friendswood words?
No, it's not. That's a big word for Elmo.
Topiary.
Topi. We have
Bad.
we have a running list of words that I say that he does not know what they mean. Topiary is one of them. Chime off in the comments if you know what a topiary is.
Sprang, remember?
He went to
All my
Sprang.
Sprang friends didn't know topiary either.
Anyway, we
Anyway,
love you. But yeah, so he came back, found out that she had died. Now, visitors of the hotel claim to see Audra on the fifth floor, though she's most frequently seen in room 501 where she would stay. There are claims of sudden chills, door slamming, the TV turning off and on its own, and lights flickering being reported in this room. A housekeeper had even reported seeing a strange light coming from the room while it was vacant. So that's a little weird. Like, there shouldn't be lights on in there. No one's in there. But who knows? Now, the front desk attendants also say that they even have a hard time making the electronic key cards that most hotels use now. They have a hard time making them work for this room from time to time, claiming that an unseen force is messing with the equipment.
magnetic
They're
field.
leaning into it. She's also been seen in the West Turret where she died. Visitors have said that they've seen lights coming from the turret, but when staff go and investigate there's nothing there that would cause the light. Like there's nothing, no flashlights, no candles, nothing. So no one knows why that light is there. But that's pretty much all I could find there, and that is the haunting of the Galvez Hotel.
That last story is giving me Romeo and Juliet vibes.
Yeah, I guess, kinda.
Yeah, I mean, one lover learns another lover is lost, so she takes her own life, only for the other lover to actually be alive, and except, he probably didn't off himself afterwards.
I didn't see anything about him doing that, so. I think that's safe to say he didn't. But yeah, that is the Galvez Hotel. Thank you guys for joining us for this episode of Cozy Creeps. I'm gonna do my quick run through of all of the admin. Uh,
Speedrun.
I forgot the word. My admin announcements. That's what I was looking
The
for.
plugs.
Yeah, all the plugs. So we have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok all under Cozy Creeps podcast that you can check out. So if you want to follow us on any of those, feel free to. Um, we are still waiting for stories to come in, true crime and spooky for listener stories. Still waiting to get some of those in so that way we can make a full episode of that. And you can email those stories to cozycreepspodcast@gmail.com, or you can DM me on any of the social media pages as well. Since right now, like, we don't have a lot of those coming in anyway, so I can easily read through them right now. But yeah, just DM me your stories. Or if you have any recommendations like Diego did, you can DM those to Cozy Creeps or you can email those to us as well. And I think that's all of my admin. We're still aiming to get these out at some point on a Monday. So we are cutting the line here at 11:25 p.m.
Still Monday.
But still Monday.
You
Woo!
know, once a week. We're
With,
gonna aim for that.
yeah, but with the work schedules changing around a lot right now, it's
Babies
gonna be
being
create chaotic,
silly.
baby being chaotic. It's just everything here is gonna be a little bit more chaotic than it is cozy right now. So we are working on getting that a bit more stabilized, but we will see how it goes. So with that, go bundle up in your warm blankets. Let's finish off your comfort drinks and stay cozy. Bye.